Hi, everyone. Welcome to Quantum Messages. Today's topic is going to be the in-between liminal state. This in-between liminal state is the hypnagogic state. And so that state is when you are between your waking self, and then your sleep self. And a lot of times what happens in this in-between state is you experience sleep paralysis. You also can have massive transformative dreams and or experiences, and or you can also have some very dark dreams as well. And so I created a course. It's a 3-part course, and it's called Dreams 101, the Quantum Perspective, and it's just been released. And it goes deep into the quantum understanding of this state, as well as the science that is actually behind it that our scientists have learned thus far. So it's fascinating. It's very interesting. I've had a lot of experience with the in-between state. I used to call it that when I was a kid, when I didn't understand what was happening. The in-between state or hypnagogic state started coming about for me when I was a young teenager. So I was about 15 years old. And the first time I experienced it, it was extremely scary because I experienced sleep paralysis, and I felt this massive, like almost like dark entity being like putting pressure on me. And so that was my first experience with it when I was 15. And then I started having it more and more and more. And what happened is I started having the experience where I would sleep on my back. I would get in this hypnagogic state where I was like kind of frozen, so sleep paralysis. And then I would be falling down a black hole. And I wasn't able to get out of the black hole. I wasn't able to move. I wasn't able to talk, but I would be just falling down this black hole. And so this continued on for a very long time. It continued on for at least a year or more. And then finally, what happened, and I would be afraid, I would be totally afraid of sleeping on my back. So I would sleep on my side. But what would happen is, when you're sleeping, you roll around. And so I'd roll over on my back, and then I'd experience it again. And so what happened finally is when I had this crazy transcendental experience was I was actually sleeping on my stomach when this happened. And I went through the black hole, and then I just relaxed into it, and I let go of the fear. And I was like in my conscious mind, because I was conscious while I was actually doing this, but I just wasn't able to move. My body was like in this frozen state. And I was just like, you know what? Forget it. Just let go of this fear. And so I let go of the fear, and on the left side of my ear, this crazy, like squeaking, like high pitch vibrational frequency sound came into my left ear, and it started streaming through. And then it streamed into radio signals, or like almost like radio waves. And then it went from radio waves into this woman singing this like beautiful opera. And then it transitioned from that into this higher dimensional being, or maybe my higher self, whatever it was. It wasn't from planet Earth, it wasn't from here. And this higher dimensional being said to me, I will show you the way. And boom, just like that, I woke up. And after I had that experience, it was such a huge and deep experience for me. And I had no way of explaining it, that I spent years and years and years trying to search what that meant. And because I did not have an elder, most of the time in the ancient past, what people would be living, in groups and clans. And so we would always have elders with us that would help teach those people who were sensitive to these type of things, or who were experiencing these things, how to deal with them. And so after that experience, I stopped for a while having sleep paralysis. And I went on this deep search on who was that being? Who was that being that spoke to me? Who is that being that told me they will show me the way? And so this has been a lifelong journey for me. I stopped having the sleep paralysis in between states for a while after that experience, and then it started coming back again at full force. And so I've had multiple crazy transcendental experiences in the in between state. I have also had some very scary experiences as well, from what I thought most likely was from dark entities or possibly demons in the lower astral realm. And so in my course, which is titled Dreams 101, the Quantum Perspective, I go deep into all of this and the science behind it. And what I realized is that I was basically quantum jumping through black holes, trying to like connect with this whatever frequency this was. And because it took so many different levels of frequency to reach me and communicate with me, it means that I was traveling extremely far. And so I now have come to realize that that being that spoke to me is not in our Milky Way galaxy, but it is like really far away. And I was quantum jumping through black holes trying to reach this. And so later on, after much analysis, much internal like inspection, like internal, like digging deep within myself, I've come to realize that that being is part of my soul. It might be my soul. It might be my oversoul. I'm not 100% sure, but it had such a profound effect on me, and made me start becoming clairaudient and being able to hear things only in my left ear, which is really strange. I don't know why it's in the left ear. I do believe, it has something to do with how we're receiving the information. So it might be coming through this side of my brain, which is the right brain, and then it's going to the opposite side, which is the left side. I also receive, a lot of high frequency sounds in both ears a lot of times when there is the energy is shifting on the planet, or I'm receiving downloads. So, or uploads, if you want to call it that. So I'm just, I'm really curious to hear what your experience has been. What kind of transcendental, in between hypnagogic dreams have you had, or experiences? If you've had any of those experiences, please put them in the chat. Just, like, make a comment. I'm really curious to hear other people's experiences because I find it fascinating. And what I've come to realize is that experiences, when we get into those states, that's our power spot. That is where we can go quantum. And so we can either go there, basically, spontaneously, where we don't have any control over it, especially, when it starts when you're a kid, or we can go there, actually by putting our whole full awareness towards it. And so this also happens as well in deep meditative states. You can also get to that point and have transcendental experiences in deep meditative states as well. So I just want to kind of go over, there's three separate lessons. There's lesson 1, 2, and 3. We dive really deep into dream analysis, dream interpretation. And so I'm going to go over each one of those with you. And I'm just going to give you a little bit of a preview of what my course is. So for lesson 1, I dive deep into what are dreams, why do we dream, how do we dream, the in-between liminal hypnagogic state, and quantum teleportation. And lesson 2, part 1 and part 2, I dive deep into the archetypes and symbols in dreams and the in-between state. And what does that mean scientifically? So we go into sleep paralysis, quantum teleportation again, quantum messages, quantum jumping through timelines, archetypes, symbols, sounds, colors, numbers, messages, and worlds. Lesson 3 is dreams, the practice, integration with the quantum realm. So this is the hardest part for me personally, is to actually like really integrate it into my life and to absorb all of the things that I've received from the unseen realms. And the points of thought are from this lesson is remembering who you are, the work, the practice, shedding your shadow layers, the integration of everything you've received over this 21-day period, returning to your power, and how you can be of service to others. So what'll be what I've created for those who decide that they want to go down this route or take this course is I've created an archetype and symbol dream journal. So it would be front and back. So if you do decide to do this, you can take this and once you'll receive the PDF, and you're going to print out 21 copies for 21 days. And it goes, so every night you are going to start collecting your dreams for 21 days, as well as doing shedding the shadow layers, 21 days of 21 questions. And so this is the year of the wooden snake. And this is a very good year to shed the shadow layers. It is really kind of stirring right now in our collective consciousness. Like I'm really feeling it because the Schumann resonance has been off the hook. It's been a full moon in the Gandanta knot area, which is like that. The knot area is what you want to like release, and that brings out the dark shadow side of things. So this in combination with your 21-day collection of dreams, you will really start to get a better picture of where your soul's coming from, why you are here, what are you doing, and how to start shedding those layers. Personally, for me, I really feel like I need that right now. So here's 2 examples of some of the questions. One of the examples is, what are the negative patterns or behaviors I keep repeating despite knowing they aren't serving me? And what this does is explores habits driven by unconscious beliefs or unresolved emotional needs. Or 2, in what ways do I criticize or judge others, and how might this reflect something I'm rejecting within myself? So this is showing projection often involves disowning parts of ourselves and seeing them in others. And so with a combination of doing this as well as collecting your dreams, you're going to start really shedding the shadow layers as well as really starting to understand who you are. So going deeper into all of this is we are living in a quantum universe. We are quantum beings. We have quantum particles. We are energy. We are also a biological receiver. And so in my course, I go deep into the science behind all of this. Something that's really fascinating is that a lot of scientists who are seeking a deeper understanding of something and or trying to figure something out usually get the answer in the in-between state or in a dream state, or they have some type of vision. So here's an example of something that happened to Einstein. So Einstein's theory of relativity came to him in a dream about cows. He dreamed he was walking through a farm when he came upon some cows by an electric fence. He then saw the cows jump at the same time as the fence gave them an electric shock. And from that dream, he came up with the theory of relativity, which is fascinating. It just didn't come to him in his waking state. He was in a dream state and or a vision state. And so in the dream state, we can connect to the unknown, unseen worlds. We also connect to the unknown, unseen worlds in the meditative state. The meditative state is also another place, and that has to do with how the frequencies are going in our brain. So what are dreams? And this is my definition of what dreams are from a quantum perspective. Okay. My definition, a dream is in the subliminal. So subliminal means, or liminal state. Sub means that you're not consciously aware of it. Liminal means that you are aware of what's going on. State, when the body is at rest, but the spirit or soul is awake and connecting to the universe through the quanta, which is transferred into frequency. So the current biological state of the brain can interpret it. Sometimes your thoughts of the day are intermingled into the dream, making it confusing. However, sometimes the dream is so symbolic, archetypal, and vivid. There are different types of dream states. A dream is one way to receive quantum messages. And so this goes further, this course goes further into teaching about quantum messages and how quantum messages are affecting our lives every single day and how we are actually receiving them and how we can interpret them. So I'm going to give you a little tidbit of what dreams are from a quantum perspective. And then, like I said, if you're more interested, you can go purchase my course and I'll give you more information at the end of the video. So what are dreams? The quantum perspective. We are connecting to the unknown realities in time space through a quantum stream all the time. And it's actually more than even a quantum stream. There's a quantum soup, a quantum ocean. But once we get to our destination through quantum entanglement, it is via quantum stream. So I just wanted to make that clear. Since we are biological receivers, we can tune ourselves like a tuning fork to certain frequencies. This happens in the liminal realm in the in-between hypnagogic state. Most of the time, it's spontaneous because we have not been trained to connect. Due to quantum entanglement, we are able to connect to past, present, and future and other unknown realities and dimensions. We travel via the quanta. The brain has to be in a specific frequency to connect, though. So that's the key. We are able to travel to multiple realities and multiple selves. Sometimes we can drop into other consciousnesses as well. Messages are sent and received via quanta. You can get answers. However, we need to be trained in the state. Usually, like I said, and what I was experiencing is that it is completely and utterly spontaneous. And so until I became cognitively aware of what was going on and how to tune my brain frequencies and how to tune my body to get in those states, I had to be trained to do that. So I had to learn how to do that. So, how do we dream? And so, with this, if you want to go deeper into the science behind meditation, all of the data that has been collected, you can also learn about the brain waves and how the brain waves correlate to when we get into these high transcendental states. Go look at Dr. Joe Dispenza's work. And I'm sure a lot of you know who he is, especially if you're listening to this podcast. I'm sure you've already connected, might even have one of his books, but I highly recommend that so you can learn more about that. So dreams begin when the brain goes into a specific brain wave state. Okay. Scientists can use an EEG, electroencephalography, to measure brain waves. The brain waves emit specific waves in hertz during the waking and sleep states. Scientists can measure the brain's function and what happens while sleeping. Dr. Joe Dispenza and his team have done extensive work, on this. Please go check it out. So in the theta, delta, and gamma states, humans can experience transcendental experiences internally, so within yourself, that feel more real than the waking state. So these brain waves, which go quanta at certain states, connect to the 0 point and is our gateway into the unseen realms. And so here it shows the different brain waves, delta, theta, alpha, beta, gamma. And usually I go deep into the science behind this in my course. And so I highly recommend checking it out so you can see more about it. This is just a little taste of the course. So the in-between liminal state, also called the hypnagogic state. So from non-REM sleep or deep sleep to REM sleep dreams, or it goes vice versa, the other direction. This is where the magic happens. This is where you go quantum. You jump on the quantum stream dependent on your personality and your consciousness in this vessel, in your skin, you connect to divine beings, you connect to the galactic community, you connect to your ancestors, other worlds, you see past, present, and future, you experience quantum healing, you have quantum messages, and you experience quantum travel. Forgot an N there on that, quantum. And you also connect to maybe, for example, maybe you're having an issue in a relationship. You might communicate with the person that you are having an issue with because you're not able to talk to them in person for whatever reason in your dream state. And you can work things out. That's happened to me before, where I've had dreams like that, where I've worked out issues with another person that was close to, that I was having an issue with in my dream state. So that also works as well. So the ancients knew this all along. They've known it for thousands and thousands of years. And every single person who has made an otherworldly discovery or has solved an extremely complex problem did so in the liminal hypnagogic state. And true channeling is in this state, and deep meditative awareness and connection to pure consciousness is this state. And so these people, these ancient people in Egypt, the Aboriginal people, the Hopi and the Mayan, all of them had a way of being able to connect into this state. And they also had myths around this. They've had beings that they've encountered dependent upon their protocols and their culture. They would connect with different beings. And so I go deep into all of this in my course. So what is the course? Like I said, this is Dreams 101, the quantum perspective. And if you want to, you can take the course. Right now, it is only $21. I feel, and also other people who have taken this course have stated that it is like a college level course. You go really, really deep into your subconscious. And I feel that it offers a huge amount of instruction and also just guidance for the price, the cost. And so it is currently $49, but if you use a coupon code quantum21 all caps, it's $21. And I would really love to hear from others in the comments what their dreams have been in the past, where they've had these crazy transcendental hypnagogic dreams, and when you were in the in-between state, either good or bad, because I'm curious to hear. And this is a huge psychological and also soul study, okay? And it's fascinating. It's really fascinating. And this is a key way for you to start connecting with your soul, your higher self, higher dimensional beings, for you to go quantum. And it's a really good course. So if you're interested in this, all of the information is in the description, but you can go to quantummessages1.com and you can start the course. It's great. What I highly recommend, and I do say this in the videos, there is 3 videos that you will get, and you will also get the dream archetype journal, as well as the 21 questions for the shadow shedding of the skin, basically the snake skin for this year. It's symbolic. So yeah, it's just, I highly recommend if you do it, please get a journal and watch the videos first before you start your 21-day, journey into yourself. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you find value in this, and I would love to hear your dream stories. Please put them in the comments. Have a beautiful day or night. Thank you.